Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Ready for the test. You got so many days, right? To study. Ashish, did you prepare? Yes. Okay. So copy down the questions along, and after that, I'll give you time to write the answers. Okay? And make sure that you don't lose these questions. During revision time, we'll again revise these. So I'm sharing the screen. First question. Copy down the questions fast. You can write the answers later. Raina, Grishma, switch on the video. Amal K. Saji, switch on the video.
Another questions done.
No, no, no. Have you finished till 1D? Only 7 questions are there. After this, you can start writing the answers. Try to attempt all the questions and write in whichever way you know. The mistakes we can correct after the exam, don't worry. When you finish, please tell me.
Ma'am,
Yes.
for third question, is it who derived?
Which question?
Third question.
Who devised? Who devised the concept of?
Ma'am, I finished.
Finished. Okay. So
Uh,
10 more minutes. Okay. Finish fast. Those are not completed. 10 more minutes. How many more to complete? Finished, everyone? Amal finished?
No, no.
Amal Raj finished? Writing the answers.
Last question.
Last question. Right.
Last one.
Can you show the first question?
What is it?
Can you show the first question?
First question, yes. Sana completed. Sana completed. Yes. Ashish,
One more.
one more. Okay.
Third question.
Third question. Raina, finished. Rishma, Elvina, finished. Two more minutes, complete fast. And those who have finished, send it to me. Send the answers.
Ma'am, my phone is with my sister. She has exam.
After that, send it to me. I've got the papers from Sana, Elvina, and Meghna.
Should be send the answer.
Yeah. Those who have finished, send me the answers. Got from Mehak and Amal Raj. Grishma. The other Amal is finished?
One minute, 1 minute.
Okay. We can discuss just a small portion of intellectual deficiency once they send. So those are finished. Close your papers and then take the textbook. Amal finished? Did you finish writing the questions? Can I erase it? Yes. Okay. Amal, time's up. Please send it to me.
Can we leave this meeting for taking photo?
Okay, okay. Leave, send it to me and join fast, okay?
Uh,
Fine. So the next topic is intellectual deficiency. And intellectual deficiency, along with intellectual giftedness, that comes under the topic variations of intelligence. So if you get a question to write a note on variations of intelligence, you have to include two things. They are intellectual deficiency and intellectual giftedness. Okay. Do you remember what we studied last class about the range of intelligence of IQ? Yes. What was the average score in a population? Average IQ?
100.
100. Average IQ was 100. So in the normal curve, when the bell-shaped, when we draw the bell-shaped curve, the 100 comes in the two ends or in the middle part. Where? Where does it
Middle
come?
part.
In the middle part, the central part or the mean score will be 100. And to the left of 100, we'll have lower IQ levels. To the right of 100, we'll have higher IQ levels. Okay. So intellectual deficiency, where would it come? On the left or right of the mean value of the 100 value?
Left.
On the left side. You come on the left side. Intellectual deficiency, which means they have low, not low, even lower IQ than the average level. That forms the intellectual deficiency group. So we'll see. In that itself, in the figure I told you, there is a section for intellectual deficiency. See, mild, moderate, severe, and profound. That is the categories given. And the ranges are also there for each particular category. That is, from this score to this score, we categorize them as mild intellectual deficiency. Then from this to this forms moderate. Then comes the severe. Then the extreme comes profound. They are the terms given. Okay, we'll start. I should you start reading? On the one hand,
On the one hand are the gifted and creative persons we discussed briefly earlier. On the other hand, there are children who face enormous difficulty in learning even very simple skills. Those children who show intellectual deficiency are termed as intellectually
underline that. Those children who show intellectual deficiency are termed as intellectually disabled. So, for intellectually deficient people, we use a term that is intellectually disabled. Okay, then.
As a group, there is a wide variation among the intellectually disabled. The American Association on Mental Deficiency, AAMD, views intellectual disability
Yes,
as
underline that whole sentence from AAMD onwards. Yeah.
as significantly sub-average general intellectual functioning existing concurrently with deficits in adaptive behavior and manifested during the developmental period.
Yes. So the definition or the description that AAMD gives for intellectual disability or intellectual deficiency is significantly sub-average general intellectual functioning, which means sub-average means even lower levels than the average level of intelligence. So here we have significantly. Significantly means it is a very, very significant or a very important or a very drastic change in the sub-average level. Sub-average level of intelligence or intellectual functioning existing concurrently with means simultaneously along with. That is the meaning. Existing concurrently with deficits in adaptive behavior. Deficits in adaptive behavior, which means they won't be able to show proper adaptive behaviors. There will be deficiency in intellectual functioning along with the adaptive behaviors. Then, during the developmental period, these deficiency in adaptive behavior, deficiency in the sub-average level of intelligence, all these is shown during the developmental period. Developmental period means the period from or till the age of 18. From birth to 18, that is the developmental period. You can note it somewhere. Okay, so what is the importance of this definition? Sub-average level of intellectual functioning is shown. Then along with that, there is low level of adaptive behaviors, and this is shown during the intellectual period. Sorry, the developmental period, which is from birth to 18. Okay, okay. Meghna, continue.
This definition points to three basic features.
Hmm.
First, in order to be judged as intellectually disabled, a person must show significantly sub-average intellectual function.
Yes, that is the first one. Sub-average intellectual functioning. Then,
Persons having IQs below 70 are judged to have sub-average intelligence. The second relates to deficit of inadaptive behavior. Adaptive behavior refers to a person's capacity to be independent and deal effectively with one's environment.
yeah. What do you mean by adaptation? Adaptation means adjusting to your environment, understanding the things, the stimulus in your environment, and then adjusting to that environment and living accordingly, isn't it? So people with this intellectual deficiency, they have less adaptive behaviors or low level of adaptive behavior, or they show inadaptive behavior, which means they cannot adapt to their environment properly. That is the definition for adaptive behavior. Underline that also. Adaptive behavior refers to a person's capacity to be independent and deal effectively with one's environment. Okay.
One feature is that the deficit must be observed during
Deficits must be
observed during the developmental period, that is between 0 and 18 years of age.
Yeah, during developmental period, which is from 0 to 18. 0 to 18 means from birth to 18. So these are the features of intellectual deficiency as described by whom? Who described this?
American Association on Mental Deficiency.
Yes, American Association of Mental Deficiency, AAMD. Note down, AAMD. So first one is they show sub-average level of intellectual functioning, which means their intellectual functioning is less than the average level. And the value is given there. Persons having IQs below 70 are judged to have sub-average intelligence. Note that value, below 70. If you turn to that figure 1.2, page number 11, you can see that. From 70 and below, we have drawn, they have drawn an arrow. That is a section for intellectual deficiency, below 70. Okay, then the second one is inadaptive behavior or low adaptive behavior. Low adaptive behavior means their capacity to be independent, that is to walk alone, to do their things alone, to bath yourself, to clean yourself, to make your room tidy and clean, then do your things alone, eat with your own hands, then follow the table manners, all those things. They won't be independent like the normal people. They need to have, not everybody, but a category of them will have to ask for help, to seek for help from others. So they lack proper adaptive behavior, or you can say that they have inadaptive behaviors. Then third one is, third important feature of that definition is these features like low intellectual functioning and low adaptive behavior. Both of these are shown during the developmental period, which is from birth to age 18. Okay, understood? Yes. Now, Elvina, continue.
Individuals who are categorized as having
Elvina, you're muted.
ranging from those who can be taught to work and function with special attention to those who cannot be trained and require institutional care throughout their lives.
Okay,
We have learned
just a minute, just a minute. Yeah, so I told you below 70, we have categorized them into mild, moderate, severe, and profound. Okay, and depending on their level of IQ, a set of people, they can be given some special training and they can be made independent to an extent in their lives. But there are a category of people like those who belong to very higher levels of intellectual efficiency, which means severe or profound. Those who belong to the category of severe profound, they need help from someone all throughout their lives. They need special institutional care. Then they need some or the other person nearby them in order to help them in all the daily activities. That is the difference. Depending on that range we have, that is from 70 to 70 and below, we have categorized them into four. And based on this range, we have certain number of people who can be trained to look after themselves. But the other set of people, they need institutional care and they need someone beside them to take care of them all throughout their life. Okay. Then continue, Alvina.
You have learned earlier that the mean IQ score in the population is 100. These figures are used to understand the categories of intellectually disabled. The different levels of intellectual disability are mild,
Underline from there. Mild
IQs 55 to approximately 70, moderate IQs 35 to 40 to approximately 50 to 55, severe IQs 20 to 25 to approximately 35 to 40, and profound IQs below 20 to 25. Although the development of people with mild disability is typically slower than that of their peers, they can function quite independently, hold jobs and families. As the level of disability increases, the difficulties are strongly marked. The people with moderate disability lag behind their peers in language and motor skills. They can be trained in self-care skills and simple social and communication skills. They need to have moderate degree of supervision in everyday tasks. Individuals with profound and severe disability are incapable of managing life and need constant care for their entire lives. You will read more about the characteristics of intellectual disabled in chapter 4.
Yes, in chapter 4, we'll learn more about this. Just understand the definition given by AAMD. Then understand that there are four categories based on this range of IQ that we have discussed. So below 70, mild level of intellectual deficiency, that is from 55 to approximately 70. Then moderate is 35 to 40 to approximately 50 to 55. That's not a fixed value. That's why it's given approximate range. Then severe, we have 20 to 25 to approximately 35 to 40. Then profound, we have below 20 to 25. So 25 and below, generally we say profound. So, shall I ask you one question? If a person's intellectual deficiency is increased, This is a kind of an application level question. Just hear me. The intellectual functioning. Okay, intellectual functioning of a person is low, which means the intellectual efficiency is high. Do you agree? Do you agree to that? If intellectual functioning of a person is low, then intellectual deficiency of that person is high. How many of you agree with this? Amal K. Saji agrees with that. Intellectual functioning is low, then intellectual deficiency is high. Ashish, switch on the video. Only Amal is there to agree with this. Mehak is agreeing. That's all. Now those who are against this, raise your hands.
Intellectual functioning means how we perform different tasks.
Intellectual functioning means general intelligence. If that is low, then that means intellectual deficiency is high. Is that true? Or can it be true? Those who agree, then raise your hand. Right now. Aishwarya. Oh, correct timing again. Then the others, Amal Raj, Raina, Ashish, Krishma, Elvina and Sana, undecided or the opposite? What is your opinion, Elvina?
If the person has been functioning intelligent, like deficiency means by thinking, no. So I'm against.
You're against. Okay. Sana.
Against.
You're also against. Okay. This is more or less the same because intellectual functioning, we are generally referring to the general functions of intelligence. What did we learn as the definition of intelligence? Any definition? Global capacity to? This is the holy definition.
To understand the world.
To understand?
To think rationally.
Then one more.
And use the resources when faced with the challenges.
Yeah, that is also intellectual functioning. It is related to intellectual functioning. So if intellectual functioning is low, then that person cannot understand properly. That person cannot think rationally, I mean, in a proper way. And that person cannot use the resources properly. Yes? Do you agree to that? Yes. So if intellectual functioning is low, then these three things are low. So intellectual deficiency will be high, right? Automatically. Yes. So generally this is like this. If intellectual functioning is low, then there is a high chance that the intellectual deficiency is high. Okay. Now if intellectual functioning is very high, then intellectual giftedness tend to be high. Understood? Okay. Now, as we discussed, there are 4 types. The reason why I explained this thing is, here there is a sentence, see page number 12. After the profound and all is described, there is one sentence. As the level of disability increases, The difficulties are strongly marked. Can you see that? Did everyone see? Yes, as the level of disability increases, which means intellectual deficiency is, as the level of disability increases. That means intellectual deficiency is increasing or decreasing?
Increasing.
Increasing. Intellectual disability, intellectual deficiency, intellectual inability, all these factors determine the same thing. So intellectual deficiency increases means that person is very difficult to handle or easy to handle.
Difficult.
Difficult to handle. Intellectual deficiency increases means intellectual deficiency is very high in that person. Deficiency is very high means it is a negative thing. So that person will be very difficult to handle. That is why it is given. The difficulties are strongly marked. Okay, understand that sentence and learn the things. If intellectual deficiency or if intellectual disability is more, it is increased, then that means that person is very difficult to handle. That person will require more help from others. That person won't be as much independent as the normal people. Not normal people, the people with normal IQ. We usually refer to them as differently able people, isn't it? For handicapped individuals also, we refer to a certain term, differently abled. Usually we don't say disabled, it's better to say differently abled. Okay, we'll learn more about these intellectual deficiencies in chapter 4. So in this you have to learn, in this chapter you just have to learn the definition, then which are the categories: mild, moderate, severe and profound. So out of this mild, moderate, severe and profound, who will be very easy to handle? Which category of people?
Mild.
Mild. People with mild level of intellectual disability or intellectual deficiency. They will be much easier to handle as compared to the profound ones. The severe and profound categories, they are very difficult to handle. And they need help from others always. Whereas those in the mild and moderate categories, they can be given some form of trainings in social skills, in maintaining relationships, in some vocational training, in some small jobs, and then they can look after themselves and they can even live with their families properly. With small trainings and therapies, they can handle themselves. But in severe and profound categories, it's really difficult for them to be independent and for them to do their own things. If they can't do their own things, then can they do the things of their family? Can they help their family? No, they won't be able to support their families also. So for them, they need institutional care, which means there are so many institutions to look after such people, like old age homes. They look after the the elderly people. Then we have orphanages to look after the orphan children. Like that, we have certain institutions to look after these people with intellectual deficiencies. Okay. So yes, this was a small topic. The next topic will be intellectual giftedness, which means the people who are just opposite to this category. Intellectual deficiency comes in the leftmost corner of the normal curve, while whereas intellectual giftedness that comes in the rightmost side of the normal curve, which means the people with very high IQ. The category from mild to profound, they were the people with very low IQ. And what was the range? Below 100, 80, 90, 70? What was it?
Below 70.
Below 70. Below 70 belongs to the category of intellectual deficiency. Okay. So that's it. How was the test? Hmm? Hmm? How was the test? Tell me something. How was the test? Are you on some strike or something like that? How was the test, people? I'm not going without an answer. Tell me how was the test? At least mime is going on. Oh, it was fine. Okay. After the chapter, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 more pages. Yeah. After that, we'll see the application level questions. So after each chapter, we'll see the application level questions. Okay. Otherwise, after completing all the portions, if we see it all together, I'll have to teach the things from point one. So better keep reading. Okay. You can also, when you get free time, if at all you get free time, please go through the questions online. There are so many worksheets and extra questions in the net. So please do refer to them and keep reading the textbook. Okay. Okay, fine then. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.